gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
That was like this.
Yeah.
He was holding the microphone like this. But I seen the in that. I seen the in that, and that's why I'm like, oh, this soft. Man, I knew that wasn't gonna do nothing. That was shaking like a stripper. He telling Darlene, hey, move over there. Let me get next to this. Yeah, that's for the internet. That's not even a tall nigga like that. He not even big like that. The fattest, like he not fit. They walked in wheezing. Man, bro, I was fully confident that the nigga was going out. So that's why I bullied that on his own platform, a comedian. No. I'm gonna give you the same energy you give me.
Let's switch seats. I'm with it. Homie, I don't do no. I'm a motherfucking man. I don't do no.
I don't give a f about nothing.
Well, tell you what, watch that, because that'll go bad.
Call it what you want.
I don't do no.
You say a lot of shit I don't f with either. You
okay, but that. Oh, you go.
About what you
hey, homie, I tell you what.
I'm right here.
Don't put no shit on me, nigga.
I'm from Detroit.
Say I suck again.
I'm right here, right now.
All right, that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna respect you.
Dance around it. Dance around it.
No. I'm I
don't do no.
I'm gonna respect you because it's your platform, and I flew out here to have a conversation.
We good.
But you're not grossing up on me.
Yo,
we good. I did already. I don't do dick sucking shit.
Put the microphone right down, right now, and going up back. I don't give a f about this.
Homie, you just running your mouth.
I'm not.
Okay, here we go. All right, now Anton. Let me move this out the screen right here.
I ain't gonna lie, rewatching that shit again is it's hilarious when you watch it like multiple times.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna ask you what was this right here, but before I get into you, Anton, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you the perception of it. All right.
You can say whatever you want to say.
Okay. So the perception of it from a man point of view, this is two men having passionate conversations. This is one man thinking that he's harder than the other, and the other man proving that he's not. And then they right here.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
That nigga was like this.
Yeah.
He was holding the microphone like this, nigga. That's okay. That's the honest to God on everything. That nigga was shaking like a stripper, bro.
It was heated though. It was heated situation.
That nigga was shaking like a stripper.
Just to be partial, that's usually how I act before I hit somebody.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I see.
Listen. I gotta agree with Q on that. Just being honest, when it comes down to when you're in a heated situation, temperatures rising. I know some people that cry during fights or whatnot. That don't mean they crying because they scared. They crying because they about to open up a can of whoop ass possibly. I've seen it happen. I've seen females crying, not because of fear, because they about to unleash hell on somebody.
Listen.
Okay.
Listen.
I'm not gonna I get real like fidgety, like what the f am I about to do?
Some people do.
Listen, bro. Listen. That tough. This is what I was taught as I was growing up. You never imply that that's what you're gonna do and don't do it.
I agree with that.
You never imply that that's what you're gonna do and you don't do it.
When I pull, I always pop. That's why I'm living today.
I'm keeping it 100.
Yeah, no. That's 100.
You
but
don't ever try to insinuate that that's what you nigga. Don't switch seats and like it, cause.
Yeah. I do agree with that. Yeah, you can't give the energy that you possibly about to fight somebody, but you really don't want to fight possibly, because what was crazy was when he said, "Say it one more time, say it again, I'm gonna hit you." That's almost like back when you were in school, and it's almost like that. Oh, I want you to say something. Oh, I want you to say something again. Or like hold me back. If you really want to do something, just go ahead and do it at that point. Just being honest.
Go ahead.
No, you right, but bro, I'm telling you the perception of it.
Go ahead, I'm with it.
It in that moment when I seen it, I say that's Corey trying to check Anton temperature. Because when you got up with him, hey, we can go outside. All right, let's keep the conversation. I ain't gonna win it this way.
Yeah.
So let's take the violence off the table. You had to do that because a nigga like Corey from Chicago was gonna test you in that way, because that's not how you present online as tough. So when he said, okay, he do got some man about himself, Now let's continue the conversation. This is normal in the wild. Anton, you just left the wild. I'm a hood nigga. I know what it is.
No. That's a perception. Wasn't wild in there. If y'all want to know the truth, wasn't wild in there. Wasn't nothing popping off. That's why I told the crowd. I said, nigga, look, I got security. You got security. Ain't happening.
That's a fact.
Now, and that's why I was talking about online. I said, nigga, now if you want to shoot a fair one, we can shoot a fair one.
Yeah.
I think this ain't nothing more than two individuals, got a lot of clout, a lot of popularity, big social media juggernauts. Ain't nobody want to be disrespected. So of course, our own egos as people, I think that's what came into play. I don't think neither one of them really wanted to fight. Who really want to just get into a goddamn fight over nonsense or just a few words on like a small disagreement? I think what it was is that a whole bunch of, persona came into play, and it's like, yo, you ain't about to have the upper hand on me. I'm glad, but both of them stood on what they was going to stand on to protect their own brands and their personalities. It was really necessary. I'm mad that it went that way, but I think it was necessary at the end of the day for each one of them to stand on what they actually trying to stand on, not being disrespected.
You can go and shoot, bro. I know people don't know this, but that's what I do. I don't talk about it online. I shoot fair ones all the time, nigga. I got 3 brothers, nephews, friends, nigga. If we have a problem, we shoot a fair one.
Yeah,
that's not me being tough. I'm not tough. I'm not none of that. If you insinuate that that's what you gonna do, you gotta go. You gotta go all the way there. You cannot stop.
I don't think they want to fight.
You can't stop. But I seen the in that nigga. I seen the in that nigga, and that's why I'm like, oh, this nigga soft.
Okay.
All of that chair moving, that's performative. Because let me tell you what niggas do when they really doing some shit. They go.
Yeah, that is true.
They don't say, hey, move out. That's like saying, hold me back.
Hold me back.
I'm keeping it 100, bro. I'm keeping it 100. Niggas, man, I knew that nigga wasn't gonna do nothing. That nigga was shaking like a stripper. He telling Darlene, hey, move over there. Let me get next to this nigga. Nigga, that's for the internet.
I agree with that. I do believe it was performative because, like he said, he's testing your, like 2K said, you testing your temperature to see how bold you is, how much you really gonna stand on the things that you say online. Because the whole show, Corey was saying that you say a lot of crazy stuff online, man. And I don't think you really, about that life where you really in them streets. And that's why Anton, insinuated to tell him that, hey, I'm from Detroit. I'm outside. I tied to the streets, to the streets, which was hilarious when he said that. But I have seen Anton vlogs. He do be outside. I mean, if you really look at how Anton moves, especially when he was doing vlogs, I never seen the security. I don't know. I'm looking outside in. But at the same time, Corey was trying to test his temperature to say, you know what? You're not going to do anything and I'm going to try and embarrass you. Anton said, nope. We can go ahead and do this thing right here and right there, or we can go outside. So I think really, man, like I said, I think Corey really didn't want to do nothing. I think it was more so them checking each other on their own temperatures as to say that I am that guy.
That's straight up for the internet. I never moved. I sat right there, right next to that nigga, and I continued to cook that nigga the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time from the start, from that point on, I cooked that nigga. I told that nigga, you a hypocrite. I don't believe you. You keep niggas around you that continue to try to boost you up. That nigga was frustrated. He the weakest comedian because a nigga couldn't even control his temperature in his own, and I was in his backyard. Nigga, I'm in LA right now in his spot with his people all around talking to that nigga.
Damn.
Talking to that nigga. Let me tell you, he never coming back from this. That's why I'm telling y'all, whenever his show ends, niggas need to download that and never let them forget it because I don't go based off. That's why I told Mika, right? Because I had Mika with me. And the reason why I brought Mika with me is because I wanted to promote her show and neither here nor there. I told
a lot of people.
I told Mika, I told my security, and I told somebody else. I said, I'm not doing nobody else's platform unless it's gonna be face to face. I told niggas I told a Millionaire Morning Show that. Because everybody talk a good game until you right there in front of them. And I'm gonna tell y'all something else. That's not even a tall nigga like that. He not even big like that. Nigga fat as like he not fit.
I will say this, man. This is hilarious. I think Corey definitely, when it comes to wordplay and conversations, I think Anton had him on just the topics in general. Like I said, Anton made a lot of sense when they were, because it started off with the politics. And I'm not gonna lie, just from like the content that I react to, the way how I would separate the two, Corey did seem more of the victim mentality. Granted, he's very successful, whatnot, so he's not living that reality in this day or whatnot. But at the same time, the things that he was saying kind of made me think about it more of a victim mentality, you know? So I think when it comes to that and the things that Anton was saying, I think Corey, it was going over Corey's head a lot of the times. Corey wasn't able to catch a lot of the things Anton was saying. So I think on wordplay, Anton was kind of embarrassing him without even like actually trying to do it. It just was happening. I think Corey was also taking offense and disrespect towards that, which made Corey, I think, lash out a lot of the times and just say, you a BS, you know what I'm saying? Just lash out like that towards Anton to say, I can't beat you on maybe the wordplay, the intellectual game. I'ma just go ahead and disrespect you, and we possibly gonna go ahead and land blows if it was to go there.
Like, I'm not the fittest nigga, but I'm a regular person, right? I'm not overweight, I'm not crazy and none of that like that. Like, I'm a regular nigga. He not tall, he not fit. The nigga walked in wheezing. Man, bro, I was fully confident that nigga was going out.
Oh, damn.
Fully confident. All of that tough shit, all of what, having the camera pan up to you like this and to make you bigger than what you really are. I ain't impressed with that, bro. Let me tell you something. Every last one of these niggas, if they ever want to do something in person, I'm pulling up. I told that nigga on the phone before I even pulled up. I said, bro, I know you gonna come at me weird, but just know you gonna get the same energy.
I will say this, Anton, right? In person is a whole lot different. I was just listening to something earlier and someone was saying that people could hate somebody online, talk a whole bunch of trash to them and see that person in person and act like that's their best friend. If that person acknowledge them or say something to them, oh, hey, how you doing? You forget all the hate. So that energy is different. If you do have energy with somebody, you need to keep it in person as you would online. It can't be no different. You got to stand on it. And I appreciate that about Anton. If he's in those spaces, he didn't fold because Corey was saying anything that he didn't agree with. He stood on what he stood on, and then the conversation just got heated and got out of hand, but he never tried to, ride the fence or whatnot or agree with Corey on anything. I mean, I definitely appreciate that part.
I told him straight up on the phone. So that's why I bullied that nigga on his own platform, a comedian. I bullied that nigga. Let me tell you something, bro.
Okay.
He said, who I coward? I said, nigga, Dave Chappelle, you scared of Dave, nigga. I told that nigga straight up to his face on his own platform. I said, you scared, nigga. You tiptoed around that nigga when you reviewed his platform.
He did agree too. Corey did agree to tiptoeing around the Dave Chappelle comment. So that's a fact on that.
All right, so Anton, what was
so my point is this, man, I'm not worried about it, nigga. The people I got around me is different, bro. Let me tell you, I know the same people that he know. Y'all be thinking that, man, listen, bro, listen. Ain't nobody tough. I'm not pretending to be tough. I'm not none of that. But the one thing that I know is, and maybe it's just because I'm still in Detroit, niggas don't act like they gonna do something. Either they do it or they stay chill. I'm not going for none of that move out the way, all of this stuff. Man, get the fuck out of here with that shit, bro. You not tough. And let me tell you the only reason why I got up. I was telling my security and I was telling Mika this and shit too. Like while I left. Is because I'm not going to ever act like I'm going to do something and don't do it.
Okay.
So it's either do something or leave. Because what you do is now you putting the security in a situation. Now you getting Mika in a situation, right? Yeah. Now you putting them in something and they got to respond because, it's going if it go there, it get fucked up. So it's either you go or you do something about it. I'm not a tough guy.
That's why I wish the conversation would have continued on. I mean, yeah, he mentioned the whole sucking black people penises, and Corey said that you kiss white ass. I wish they could have just moved past the ad hominem attacks and continue the conversation because it was supposed to be about a debate. But I think that's the thing about it, man. We can't get too butthurt, especially on some of these debate platform instances or whatnot. I mean, I feel like Corey possibly should have just came back with maybe a harder blow with the wordplay. I mean, he must have took real offense to the whole sucking. I would have even just stopped him and said, "Hey, bro, don't disrespect me right now." That would have been better. Really, just shut it down. Don't disrespect me like that. This is my platform. Don't play with me like that. But to go to now we about to fight, and then it gets into a whole, because see, that would have been a more strategic way to check Anton without going to the whole fight. Move out the way, Darlene. I'm about to get in his face. Oh, say it again. I'm gonna beat. You know what I'm saying? It could have been better. You do have to learn how to retaliate with words when words are being brought upon you sometimes.
So I left. So
Can I
held it down.
Can I ask you this?
Once it start going there, and you know what I'm saying, it's just like, this nigga, I've already done my due diligence. I've already kicked his on his own platform. It's time to go.
Yeah. So can I ask you what was the overall goal of going on the platform? Like, was you hoping to get some understanding?
He said you insinuating you was there without you. I'm not here with my nigga. I just talked to my chick on the phone. Literally. I literally just talked to her on the phone.
I have a question.
You see her at the top, nigga?
I have a question for you, Anton.
See Sharita right there?
I have a question
there,
for you, Mr. Daniels.
You're right. I got Mika here, and I'm here to promote.
I have a question. I have a question for you. He tried to calm the temperature. Why didn't you let him?
What do you mean? Tried to calm the temperature? When did he try to calm the temperature?
Well, he tried to like, okay, we cool now, and you was like, this. You just kept going.
No, it wasn't that.
Because I didn't believe that nigga now.
No, see, I think Q he didn't watch the whole thing. I watched the whole thing, and the thing about it was they shook hands or whatnot. They hashed it out or whatnot. They had a long conversation. They answered the guy's question about Christianity, the whole nine, about how it being, white people's religion, the whole nine. They had multiple conversations. It's strong all the way into it started getting to the insinuations about who Anton brought with him, which was the Mika girl. It brought that up to where he was trying to insinuate like I can't trust guys who bring around women that I don't even know who they is. They trying to do little sneaky things or whatnot with people on the side. That's what he was trying to insinuate. So the comment they definitely hashed it out for a second, but it went right back to throwing shots and disrespect again. I just don't think it was going to be hashable at that point.
Once you say you own that and you don't show it, I found your weakness.
Okay.
Why do you think it went left to begin with? Just
because he's used to niggas think because you're Republican and you conservative or whatever that is just, I don't think he know, right? Because don't nobody know nobody until they actually in front of him, right? And he used to, and I told him that, I said you used to being around people that don't say nothing to you when you say something to them because it is what it is. And so, that was his weakness. He's not. Listen. He's not intellectual enough to be able to talk. He can't hold. I realized that in the very beginning like on some debate or conversation type shit.
He's a nigga.
Yeah, he's not intellectual enough on that tip. So
I saw that as well. Once they started going back and forth, I was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be kind of this little landslide-ish," because he was making points about how maybe some black people feel out in the world when it comes down to maybe police brutality, voting not being a real thing or not beneficial, whatnot. And then he started going into a few other topics. But as Anton started explaining those things and being able to substantiate his arguments, it was more and more clear that, oh snap, yeah, I don't think this is gonna go as Corey probably think it is. And that's when it got more into attacking words.
You start to lose that part of the conversation. And another reason why I like doing it in person is because you can't mute me.
Yeah. You would let that nigga talk. I was like, God damn, that's
what? You can't mute me. And we gotta look in each other's eyes and we gotta see each other, right?
Yeah, that's the key.
Now
right
you can't mute me. You can't control the narrative. You can't control the platform. We right there.
Yeah.
That is true.
So
that's why I only want to do it in person.
I just want to say no one on this platform should say anything, because if that was me and Slim, y'all would have called us sassy and emotional.
They already did that online. I reacted to that. That was a couple months ago, and it was hilarious. That was extreme. I'm not even gonna lie. Completely different.
When niggas fight, that's what y'all
Too
say. But
soon.
no, that was nope.
Too soon. Too soon.
I'm just saying. That's what I'm just saying. They
I
would
think I'm gonna leave it right there, y'all. I mean, it's probably more left in this. I'm pretty sure he was on for a long time after this whole situation, but I think he gave the gist of what he was explaining or whatnot. There's no winner or loser in this situation. It's not. With the debacle between Anton and Corey, it's no winner. You're gonna have two social media juggernauts clashing on not wanting to be disrespected in front of one another. Just being honest. I don't think neither one of them really wanted to fight. Now I know Anton said that he was willing to stand on business if it came to it, for sure. Sometimes you get into these moments to where you're willing to die on the hill. So yes, if you say you're gonna do something, F it. Whether I win or lose, I'm gonna do it. I do believe Anton was on that side. Whether he was gonna win that fight or lose that fight, he was willing to go to some form of blows. Corey, on the other hand, I don't know. That one a little skeptical because the whole let's switch seats, say it again. It's like he says, kind of almost like that hold me back situation in school. Hey, hold me back. Hey, you really don't want to fight, but it's like, I'm going to just pretend like I want to fight. But hey, Corey could have held it down. I don't know who was in the room. That's the thing about it. I don't know who was all in the room, who was willing to who's going to be jumping in, possibly stopping it, or, making it go a little bit longer or further, whatnot. We just don't know all the details, but just looking outside in, man, like I said, it's just two people that didn't want to be disrespected, and it just got way too out of hand. It was supposed to be more of a debate, but I think it just turned into, it started turning into ad hominem attacks, direct attacks with sexuality involved. And also, Corey did make some, he made some comments earlier that Anton even said, like, why are you making this really gay or whatnot? Like, you saying this as if it's really gay what you saying. I can't remember exactly what it was, but if y'all remember that, if y'all at this point, just comment that Corey made a lot of attacks even towards his sexuality for certain comments to make Anton even say, why are you saying this? This is really gay on what you saying or whatnot. So it already turned from a healthy debate to attacks at that point, because I don't believe this was, I think it was a little one-sided on debate quality. Anton is a debater. If you go into a room, or if you're on a recording with him, you better be prepared, because he is very well with his words, the conversation. He's a thinker, you know what I'm saying? He can string all his thoughts together without blanking out. A lot of times it's hard to have these debates because you might black out, like, oh damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. I think Corey was in that situation. He was very blindsided to it. Oh, I can't remember what I said. You was a bitch ass whole ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think that's where the turn happened at. But it was hilarious though. I mean, it's still gonna be entertainment, y'all. You know why we watching these platforms, man. You want to get some type of learning information out of this. You want to learn from this stuff for sure. Like, you think people, you can't just watch all these reactions or just videos in general. And just only look at it for entertainment. You have to learn something from some of these situations, because you will see the truth throughout all the lies. You know what I'm saying? You see some people on these panels maybe a little strange. I know people feel like Molly's kind of weird or whatnot. I can see that, but at the same time, you still have to look at what's being portrayed and what's actually real, what you actually see in the real world. Because over time, see, people come on these platforms and they'll pull up a persona possibly. But it's only so long until the truth has to come out, on how they really speak, the way how they really think. They get questioned on certain things, and now the conversation goes so long to where you start seeing little truths that come out that you possibly can learn from if you really take the time to, So I say that to say, it is what it is. This ain't the first. This ain't gonna be the last. When it comes down to the future of them, that's probably a no-go. They probably will never be cool or if they ever were friends. I feel like they already possibly had beef or whatnot. So I'll make sure I have this link in the description so y'all can watch this live and listen to everything else Anton says about the whole situation. Make sure y'all like this video, comment below. This is your boy JayBReacts. Until next time, y'all. Peace.